Bristol Community College, Mathematics with Dan Avedikian, Math 132, Calculus with Applications, Section 12.2, Problem 6. This is Section 12.2, Problem number 6. It says f of x equals 3x minus 2 over 4x plus 1. Part A is what is f prime of x, or what is the derivative, and part B is what is f prime of x when x equals 5. So, for part A, I have f of x equals 3x minus 2 over 4x plus 1. This type of function is called a quotient. It's a division. You have a numerator and a denominator, and typically the numerator is labeled with a u, and the denominator is labeled with a v. So f prime of x is vu prime minus uv prime over v squared. That's a formula for the derivative of a quotient, or what we call the quotient rule. And again, the way I remember this, the v's make a v, the primes go on the right side, because the word prime and the word right have the letters ri together. So, as I fill this out, the first piece is v with no prime. V is the denominator, is 4x plus 1. That's the v. The next piece will be u prime. U is the numerator. U prime is the derivative of the numerator, which is just 3. Now again, where does that come from? The 3x to the first has a derivative of 3. When you have an x to the first, the derivative is just the number in front of the x. So 3x gives me a 3 when I do the derivative. The minus 2, any value with no x, its derivative is 0. So it's really 3 minus 0, which I can really write as 3. Then I have minus. Then I have u with no prime. U with no prime is 3x minus 2. And then times v prime. So again, v is the denominator, v prime is the derivative of the denominator, which is just 4. And again, where does that 4 come from? I'm taking the derivative of 4x plus 1. The 4x has a derivative of 4. Again, I have an x to the first, I do the derivative. The derivative is the number in front, which is 4. The plus 1 is a number with no x. The derivative of any number with no x is just 0. So it's really 4 plus 0, which we can just write as 4. So that takes care of the top part of my quotient rule, the vu prime minus uv prime. In the bottom of my quotient rule, I have v squared, the denominator squared, or to the second power. So I have 4x plus 1, that's the denominator, in parentheses to the second power. Notice, no prime in this one, no derivative, just v to the second power, which is what I have. Now again, this is the answer for f prime of x, but I can simplify it easily enough before I put in an actual number value for x. So, f prime of x equals, so on top here, 3 times 4x is 12x. Then 3 times 1 is 3. And now I have minus, so I have 3x times 4. That's going to be a 12x. But because I'm subtracting it, it's minus 12x, right, because of the negative in front. Then I have 4 times negative 2. That's minus 8. But again, I'm subtracting it because of the negative in front of the parentheses. So I'm subtracting a negative 8. Minus a minus 8 becomes plus 8. Then in the denominator, 4x plus 1 in parentheses to the second power, I'm going to put in a 5 for every x I see. So 4 times 5 is 20. 20 plus 1 more is 21. Don't forget that 21 must be raised to the second power. That's just what the formula says you have to do. So now I can simplify a little bit. 12x on the top and negative 12x on the top, even without putting in a 5. They're just going to cancel. Positive 12x, negative 12x. So I have 3 and 8 is 11. and then I have 21 to the second power underneath. So 21 times 21, so that's going to be 11 over. 21 times 21 is 441 if you do it out. So that's f prime of x when x is 5. It's 11 over 441.